Welcome to your ideal listening experience. Whether it's a work break or a serene bedtime story, we're delighted to be your friends here at Art Viewpoint, sharing the good things with you. In the uncharted corners of existence, where memories linger and emotions are cloaked, tales of transformation and connection take shape. These narratives emerge from serendipitous encounters, challenging our assumptions and teaching us that even the deepest wounds can mend through the relationships we forge. Allow me to share one such story, an account that intertwines an elderly soul, a spirited canine, and an unbreakable destiny. As we journey forward, you'll explore a chronicle featuring Uncle Bob, a man whose skepticism toward four-legged companions was etched into his very being. Life, as it often does, orchestrates shifts through unexpected avenues. The story unfurls as Coffee, a vibrant dark brown dog, enters Uncle Bob's life, challenging his preconceived notions and illuminating the essence of companionship. Now, step into this narrative where bonds are tested, hearts are transformed, and the unlikeliest of friendships take root. Let's listen to the story of Coffee's heroic rescue, where redemption and connection intertwine in ways we never thought possible. Uncle Bob had always been a crotchety old man, with a deep-seated hatred of dogs that bordered on the irrational. As a child, he had been chased and bitten by a pack of wild dogs, an experience that had scarred him for life. So, when his two cousins, Dean and Dexter, brought home a playful pooch, a dark brown dog they named Coffee, Uncle Bob was anything but pleased. You can imagine. The cousins had returned to their hometown during the semester break, bringing Coffee along with them. When Uncle Bob returned to his house, he was horrified to find the furry little creature chained up under his apple tree. Coffee barked and wagged its tail enthusiastically, clearly thrilled to meet its new housemate. But Uncle Bob was having none of it. He demanded to know why the dog was there, and the cousins explained that it belonged to a professor who had offered to teach them computer programming if they took care of the pup for a week while he was away at a seminar. Uncle Bob grudgingly agreed to tolerate the dog's presence, but he made it clear that he wanted nothing to do with it. He stayed as far away from Coffee as possible, while the cousins took the dog to the nearby public park to play and get some exercise. But then something strange happened. Coffee seemed to take a liking to Uncle Bob, following him around and licking his legs whenever he got close. Uncle Bob was terrified at first, but gradually he began to realize that the dog wasn't so bad after all. He even started to enjoy its company, and found himself laughing at its antics. However, on the third day of the dog's stay, Uncle Bob had a change of heart. While hearing distressing news from the TV about a boy bitten by his own dog, the past nightmare revisited him, sending shivers throughout his body. He decided he couldn't stand sharing his house with the dog any longer and hatched a plan to get rid of it. He tricked Coffee into getting into his old car and then drove off in a strange direction, hoping to lose the dog in the confusion. But things didn't go according to plan. As Uncle Bob was driving, he suddenly got a splitting headache. He tried to control the car, but it started to slide out of control, crashing into an overgrown forest. Uncle Bob was knocked unconscious, bleeding from the head and unable to move. But Coffee was there to save the day. The dog barked loudly to wake Uncle Bob up, then struggled to jump out of the car and run to the road to get help. Hours later, a police car noticed the dog on the sidewalk and realized that something was wrong. They followed Coffee back to the crashed car and were able to rescue Uncle Bob. As Uncle Bob lay recovering in the hospital, he couldn't help but feel grateful to Coffee. He realized that he had misjudged the dog, and that it had saved his life. From that day on, he looked at Coffee in a new light and even started to enjoy having it around the house. Uncle Bob had finally learned that sometimes, the things we fear the most can turn out to be our greatest blessings. At the end of the week, Coffee had to return to its home. The professor was eagerly awaiting its return. Everyone accompanied Coffee on its journey back. The positive memories that Coffee left behind had a profound impact. Consider this. What if we found ourselves in a similar situation as Uncle Bob? How would someone extend a hand to rescue us, especially if that person was someone we held biases against? Thank you for listening. Until the next episode.